Hello YouTubes, welcome to Scott Rods. This is Test It Tuesday. On today's video, I will be reviewing this Rivnut tool, which was sent to me as a Christmas present from Bill at Solar Garage. Thank you very much, Bill. Link to his channel right there. If you don't know what a rivnut is, that's when a rivet and a nut have a baby and produce one of these. I'll be showing you some practical applications of what you can do with a rivnut and a rivnut tool later in the video, but for now, let's see what's in the box. This kit came from Amazon and cost around $60 Canadian, about $40 American. First of all, nice sturdy case. I always like a sturdy case. Comes with a selection of metric and inch rivnuts, 10 in each pack. Let's see what's inside. The obligatory badly translated instructions. However, I have noticed on the Amazon website or the Amazon shop, it does have better instructions, more visual, gives you a better idea of what you're supposed to do. Right, what do you get? You get a really sturdy rivnut tool itself. It does feel heavy, good quality, but what you have to realise, rivnuts have to go in straight, so you're going to need this much access when you're putting in a rivnut to whatever application, okay? I had a quick look at the instructions so far, and everything seems to be fairly easy to use. You would replace your little mandrels here to accommodate different size of rivnuts. You do that by unscrewing this, pressing this with your handy tool, and that comes out, well, once you unscrew it, but we'll get to that later when we're actually using the tool. Let's see what else is in the box. As I said, you've got a tool which is for all sorts of tightening, and I think this one goes in here. So that's a handy do-it-all tool. And then you've got all your various adapters and mandrels for different size rivnuts. Fairly straightforward so far. So let's find a couple of examples where a rivnut tool really comes in handy. A very common application of the rivnut and rivnut tool is to attach brake lines and fuel lines and other sorts of pipes to the frame rail of a car. Some frame rails, especially modern frame rails, will be boxed. Let's pretend this is one, but much smaller. Yes, you could screw it into this side and have a little clip like this and screw it on, but you don't have access to the other side. So unless you're going to use a self-tapping screw, you kind of really need a rivnut. So I'll show you how we use it. Decide where your pipe is going to be, get your little clip, mark a little dot, because that's where you're going to drill your hole. On this occasion actually, I'm going to drill it a bit lower because normally the frame rail would be much bigger. I wouldn't want the rivnut that close to an edge. So we're going with the middle hole there. Next, obviously, we want to drill a hole for the rivnut. Now, you'll notice that the rivnut is a fair bit bigger than the screw that we're going to use. Now, obviously, you want to use a screw that's going to go through your clip. Hence why I've chosen this one. And it's got to be long enough because the thread in the rivnut actually starts quite far down. Okay. So we've got our screw, we've got our rivnut. I need to cut a hole that size. So you need to get a drill bit that's pretty much exactly that size. As you probably know, when you drill a hole, it's always a little bit bigger than the drill bit for some reason. So let's go over to the other table, set up the rivnut tool and get everything in place. So I'm using an M6 rivnut. So I'm going to need the M6 tool. So let's take that out. Let's take the tool out. And this is the one that we need, both sections, okay. Can move this out of the way for now. So now we shall remove the one that's in it at the moment. I'm not actually sure what that is. I wonder if there's a slot for it. In order to do that, you see this little pin here. We use the stabby part of this tool, press that in. Oh, it comes all the way out. That gets removed. Don't lose that. In saying that though, I did notice in this kit, there's a spare. I guess they know people lose these things. So that's basically just a securing pin that holds this into this. Right, let's put that aside. Let's see if it's marked first of all. Oh, it says M5, so we're all good there. We know where to put that. Let's get the M6 in its hole, put in this pin, pops in there, tighten this up using the tool provided. Now that is trying to spin. Oh no, it isn't. That's good. So that locks in place. Next stage then, according to the instructions, we open the handles right up, put in our M6 thread nut, or riv nut, and we're ready to insert. Now, according to the instructions on Amazon, you may have to do this a couple of times. It doesn't mention doing it a couple of times on the instructions provided. And I think that's because it all depends on the thickness of the wall of whatever you're putting it into. Now, what I think from previous Rivnut tools is once you do it once, you need to tighten this a little bit to give you a bit more squish. But we'll give it a shot. In the hole, squish. Because I don't think squishing it again does anything unless you open it up, tighten this up, squish it again. So that's 3 times. Let's unscrew this and see if we've successfully got a Rivnut installed. Looks fairly tight. Let's try our little clip and our screw. Pipe, clip, screw. Tight. Now, this is the wrong clip for this pipe, but it was just for testing purposes, but the screw's certainly tight. Let's horse this right up to 25. That's not going anywhere. Looks good to me. Right, I want to try it in something that I actually need the tool for. It's on the truck. I used to have a job that meant I had to take my number plate off and put it up on a bed extender. And because these just screw into plastic over time, it just gets looser and looser and you end up using different areas of the plastic and it's just awful. So I'm hoping that I can replace these self-tapping screws with a couple of Rivnuts. I'll just use the same size that I've already got set up. So let me try that. Much better. So that's the Simraza Rivnut tool. Weird name. Good tool. If you want one, link below. See you next week.